Hello and welcome to our devotion for Friday, the 3rd of October. Yes, it's October, and we're into the last quarter of the year in this beautiful season of autumn with all its beautiful colours. And of course, it's the harvest season as well. So today's devotion is Name the Harvest Provider. Our reading is from Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 14, which says, I will give the rain for your land in its season, the early rain and the later rain, that you may gather in your grain and your wine and your oil. Amen. We have so much to be thankful for, not least of all God's bounty of produce from the earth itself. Plants and trees from the very beginning were established to nourish each one of us. Fruits and vegetables and grains that all held their own seed, so that the process of growing and harvesting could continue year on year. I remember as a little girl in Canada with my mum, we would often stay with friends at a cottage they had on the lake. In the mornings, before the sun got too hot, so you had to go out in the morning time, we would take our baskets and go in search of blueberries. Now, I couldn't tell you how much we all managed to collect in a week, but it was enough to produce enough delicious pies and jams to keep the whole family happy for weeks. In fact, I'd probably say right through until Thanksgiving. God is generous. He said, I will give you your rains in their season, and the land shall yield its increase, and the trees of the field shall yield their fruit. It's Leviticus 26 and verse 4. God granted the early rain to soften the ground so that it was ready to receive the seed and encourage it to take root. The later rain was sent just before the harvest to swell the produce before gathering it in. In thankfulness for the harvest, the Israelites followed the commands of God by bringing an offering of the first fruits. They would bring a sheaf of wheat and give it to the priest, who would lift it up and wave it before the Lord. And on this day, a burnt offering would be made along with a grain offering, and the latter was a combination of flour and oil and wine. All that the Lord provided for would be offered back in gratitude. In Genesis 8:22 it says, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Our God is the generous harvest provider. No matter what's going on in our world, the wheels of nature continue to turn. God has promised that what He set in motion from the beginning will not end until the sun returns and the new earth becomes our home. Let's never cease to give thanks to Jehovah Jireh for His vast provision, which has no end. Amen. May you know the blessing of God today.